decisions around relationship have come out of loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I'm, especially in an intimate relationship, I feel like I'm constantly hooked out of like a fear of abandonment or rejection.
Yeah. 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 So, welcome everyone. Lisa and I were just talking a little bit about the power of relationships. And when we think of relationships, we tend to think mostly with our fellow human bodily relationships. But we have relationships with everything. We have relationships with businesses, with family members, with pets, with the environment, with it's we're in relationship to everything, and everything's in relationship to us. Part of the practice is recognizing that as a body, as a perceiver, I see a separate world outside of me, and I see a separate body that I'm either attracted to or not attracted to. And that's where the Course in the text gets into special love and special hate, where all relationships in form, from the ego's perspective, tend to be one of special love or special hate, which means we love some people and some things more than others. We hate some people and things more than others. And so we develop this hierarchy within the illusion. And I think it's the very first principle of the miracle is that there is no hierarchy in well, there's no order of difficulty in a miracle. Okay, a miracle collapses time and space. It collapses the difficulty. So there is no order in difficulty, whereas the ego is constantly trying to create a hierarchy of difficulty and some hierarchy of order. And the miracle collapses that. And so back to the more intimate kinds of relationships that we get hooked into, thinking that I need another, I need this person, I need this thing, I need this substance, I need this food, I need this adventure, I need this thing outside of me to fulfill my sense of self. I mean, we go into marriages, we make these long-term commitments to another to seemingly complete the part of me or myself that's lacking. We even we refer to our significant other sometimes as our other half. And what we want to do is start to look at that disparagement of how we believe another can complete us and see the the fallaciousness of it, the falseness of it, and and simply recognizing that false need is step one. I just recognize it. I recognize this need, this deep need to cling or whatever, and without changing behavior at all, I recognize myself in it and recognize it as false. Sometimes that's enough for the miracle to begin to just take place. It's a gentle, gentle process. So today's lesson is number 21. I am determined to see things differently. So number 20, yesterday's lesson was I am determined to see, and 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 so we're refining. In fact, it starts off saying the idea for today is obviously a continuation and extension of the preceding one. This time, however, specific mind-searching periods are necessary, in addition to applying the idea to particular situations as they may arise. So Lisa and I are mostly addressing the conceptual nature of the lessons to put them in context. And Lisa and myself, whenever appropriate, we're sharing personal experiences that might help develop, I guess understanding is the right word. Remembering that practice first, understand later, but maybe a context that helps with your practice. So a reminder, whenever you can, is to actually read the lesson and then follow the details as best your ability about how to practice it throughout the day, because I don't always hit on that. Today, we're going to open up our yoga shape with you lying on your belly. So you can clear the mat off. I'm going to show you a couple things about this shape. You'll lie on your belly and just watch for a second. Lisa's going to turn her head to the left. That's good. And have her hands back by her sides. It's belly time, right? That's what it is. And so infants need this. It's important in the developmental process to have the physical contact with the surface. All the organs inside get to shift, the flow of the blood shifts, everything shifts. And so there's benefit to being in this shape at a kind of a neurological level. We include the nervous system as a pathway to the mind, to the healed mind, throughout this whole practice. It's also significant neck work. So if the pressure is too strong on your neck, Lisa loves this shape, so she comes into it pretty readily. But some of you may have some arthritis or some restriction in the neck and the shoulder area, in which case we support the shoulder on the side to which you're turning. See, so sometimes a rolled up blanket, or if you have a block or a sandbag, there's ways to support this shoulder. And that usually is enough to mitigate the intensity on the neck. Lisa doesn't need any support, so we're going to take that away. Now, assuming you found your way into the shape, not in a way that erases the pain, or we don't want pain. There's a difference between pain and healing sensation. So not in a way that erases the healing sensation, but in a way that welcomes it. A sustainable approach to every shape. So you feel the impact of the shape on your belly and your rib cage, maybe even into the way you breathe. Don't try to change anything. Don't try to fix anything. Just see if you can be here, support as needed. Finally, I'll say, if the shape becomes too strong or too demanding, you can try turning your head to the other side, and if that is equally demanding, then it may be too soon. You can just roll onto your back and do the head turns lying on your back. Lift your head and slowly turn through to the right side. Yeah. We work with the sensation, the effort in the turning, the way the muscles contract and lift your head, all that is welcome. And then you rest down, knowing that one side could be significantly different than the other. Maybe one side needs support where the other one does not. Let the impact come in. Observe the shape, observe the feedback. Make adjustments as necessary. That's good. Now bring your hands back under your shoulders. You're going to lift yourself up. And then you're going to come up to all fours. Yep, just push up to all fours. Okay, I'm going to introduce another new shape here. The knees are going to be wide, about mat width apart, the toes turning in, and just about touching. So see if you can have your two big toes just about touching, the knees wide, and then slowly start to sink back into that space. Keep your hands out in front of you. Yep, just slowly, slowly sink back. Now, what would be stopping you from deepening into the shape? Well, it could be ankle rigidity, it could be a cramp in your toes, it could be a knee sensation. All right, manage that. Now, your shape may not look like Lisa's. She's been in this practice a while. We all come in with a certain constitution that allows us to be more quote unquote advanced in a shape than another. Constitution plays a role, and then of course your life history in a body. Remember, the goal of the physical practice is to bring up the blockages, expose them to your healed mind. Let the resolution slowly begin to take place, bit by bit. Yes. So Lisa, come up a little bit. Come on up. Come more toward all fours. There you go. Hands out in front. So your shape could look like this. Okay, it could be a knee issue that keeps you from sinking back anymore. Don't let yourself be frightened from the sensation. The ego wants to keep pushing us out, pushing us out, pushing us out. We can respect that. Slowly, thoughtfully touch into it. This is good. All right. Now we'll release the shape. Lie on your back. Have your head on your bolster. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Now, interlock your fingers over the right knee and bring the right knee towards your right shoulder. If the knee is out of reach, then interlocking behind the thigh is fine. Now, guess what? This is the same concept that you just had, all fours sinking back on to your heels, except now there's less gravitational impact, and you're entering into the shape with much more control. We'll be introducing some knee work as time goes by here. You can always come into this shape. This is your safety valve. All right, now with your eyes closed, feel the shape, feel the sensation. I'm going to share a really important concept that comes out in this lesson number 21. In paragraph 2, it's talking about the practice periods that you're going to do. And it says, begin by repeating the idea to yourself, which was, I am determined to see things differently. Then close your eyes and search your mind carefully for situations past, present, or anticipated that arouse anger in you. The anger may take the form of any reaction ranging from mild irritation to rage. Lower your foot to the floor. Just pause a moment with your hands at your sides. Wow, how many self-help programs, not that this even fits really into that category, of course it's in a category all of itself. How often are we encouraged to go inside, close the eyes, and look for thoughts that anger us, or situations that bring about anger. Now bring the left knee towards your left shoulder. Interlock your fingers over. You bring the knee toward the left shoulder, and you look for the blockages to the movement. We're looking for the blockages in the body the same as we are looking for the blockages in the mind. We begin to source and resolve the blockages in the body that bring about more movement, more freedom, more circulation, more health. Ultimately, we look for all the blockages in mind that keep us from experiencing true self, ultimate freedom, the source of peace and joy. You have to want it, and you have to be willing to work through the stuff. Lower your foot to the floor. And then stretch your body out. Yep, legs straight, arms at your sides. And just resting here, head supported. I'm going to repeat part of this paragraph again and then share the last sentence, which is just the golden nugget. Okay, the anger may take the form of any reaction ranging from mild irritation to rage. So you're scanning your mind, looking for past, present, or anticipated situations that may arouse anger. Then it says the degree of the emotion you experience does not matter. You will become increasingly aware that a slight twinge of annoyance is nothing but a veil drawn over intense fury. Try, therefore, not to let the little, quote unquote, thoughts of anger escape you in the practice periods. Remember that you do not really recognize what arouses anger in you, and nothing that you believe in this connection means anything. That's a reflection back to some previous lessons. I'm never angry or I'm never upset for the reason I think, and nothing I see means anything. So the correlation we make between anger and the cause of anger, whether it's big or small, it's saying are fundamentally false. And then it says you will probably be tempted to dwell more on some situations or persons than on others, on the fallacious or false grounds that they are more, quote unquote, obvious. This is not so. It is merely an example of the belief that some forms of attack are more justified than others. Roll onto one side, push yourself up, find a comfortable seat. This is huge. Just such an important piece. So bring your hands to your heart as an outer reflection, an outer symbol of your willingness to look inside, to willingly look at the things that seem to bring anger, whether it's a twinge of annoyance or outright rage. It matters not. Both are a cover to true self. the ego gives such importance to both, so much so that these things that we resent and hate become part of our personality and part of our identity. It's not who we are. Yeah. Kudos, congratulations are in order for the gentle willingness to go inside and gently uncover these blockages to the Christ vision and the love and the light that is not just so much who, but what we are. Namaste.